Welcome to this explainer. If you want to unlock the secrets to accessing Baltimore County court records without spending a dime, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down this massive public data system into clear, actionable steps so you can find exactly what you need. So whether you're researching your family's history, checking up on local legal proceedings, or just satisfying your own curiosity, these digital tools are your gateway to the information you need. And the best part? We're going to show you how to do it totally for free. You know, these resources really are incredibly powerful. Whether you're a legal professional, a genealogist tracing your ancestry, a journalist, or just an everyday citizen wanting to understand local court activities, this information belongs to the public. Thanks to digitization, you can now access a massive wealth of criminal, civil, probate, and family records right from your living room. All right, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at 1. Unlocking Baltimore court records, 2. The Maryland Record Portal, 3. A step-by-step search guide, 4. Free access and its limitations, 5. Troubleshooting and offline options, and finally, 6. Important legal considerations. Okay, let's dive right into this. Starting with Section 1. Unlocking Baltimore court records. Let's figure out what exactly we're looking for. Before we even start searching, we need to be crystal clear on one thing, because honestly, not all public documents are created equal. Let's say you're trying to figure out what happened with Great Uncle Arthur's estate back in 2018. A lot of people jump online expecting to find every single public document in one giant pile, which usually leads to immediate frustration. Court records are specifically created by judges and court clerks during judicial proceedings, so think case files, trial dockets, and judgments. General public records, on the other hand, are created by government agencies for administrative functions, things like marriage licenses, property permits, or tax records. For our purposes today, we are focusing strictly on the judicial side. Moving right along to Section 2, the Maryland Record Portal. This is our digital engine. To really appreciate where we are today with this technology, you kind of have to understand the journey. Maryland used to rely entirely on physical carbon paper files. Can you imagine? Then in 2014, they began rolling out MDEC. That's the Maryland Electronic Court System. It was a massive decade of modernization, with Baltimore City finally getting digitized in 2024. Then, the real game changer happened in March 2026, when they launched the Unified Maryland Judiciary Case Search and Record Portal. This huge update merged all those separate, confusing systems into one streamlined interface. So the absolutely crucial point here is knowing which specific portal actually holds the document you need. While the Unified Case Search Portal is going to be your go-to for civil, criminal, and traffic dockets, it doesn't hold everything. If you're looking for property transfers and deeds, you'll need the MD Land Rec Portal, which just requires setting up a free account. Looking for wills and probate, you'll want to head over to the Register of Wills Estate Search. Picking the right tool from the jump saves you hours of frustration and definitely keeps you from trying to find a last will and testament in a traffic database. All right, on to Section 3, our step-by-step search guide. Let's find some actual records. Let's get our hands dirty with a hypothetical search so you can see exactly how this works in the real world. Step 1 is heading over to the official URL, casesearch.courts.state.md.us. Be prepared to pass a quick captcha verification, and yes, the irony isn't lost on me that you have to prove you're not a robot just to look at a robot-generated database. The state just uses this to prevent automated bots from scraping sensitive data. Once you're in, you'll immediately get a choice: search by case number or search by party name. Take a really close look at the search interface here. If you happen to have the exact case number, that is absolutely your fastest route. Just plug it right in. Notice the text under the search box. It explicitly tells you that you can omit dashes during input. And if you're looking up a traffic violation, you can even drop the leading zeros by just entering the rightmost 7 digits. It's a really small detail, but it makes a massive difference in getting accurate results on your first try. Now, if you don't have a case number and you're searching by a person's name, you need to navigate around a few common beginner pitfalls. You'll want to use full legal names and middle initials to filter out irrelevant results. But here is the most important thing to remember. The system has an exact name match rule. The database defaults to exact matches, meaning if you're investigating a John Smithson and you just type in Smith, the system will completely ignore it. You literally have to be highly precise to get a hit. Section 4. Free access and limitations. Let's talk about costs and boundaries. So you're probably wondering, what is actually free and what is hidden behind a paywall? Well, the great news is that the online case search portal is entirely free.
You can view case summaries, check hearing dates, see the names of the parties involved, and track the timeline of filed documentation without spending a single cent. However, if you need an official, printed copy of a document from the clerk's office, that will run you 50 cents per page. Also, if your search happens to lead you to a federal case in Baltimore, you'll have to switch over to the federal PACER system, which has its own fee structure based entirely on the number of pages you view.
You also have to respect the legal restrictions, because not everything is public knowledge. Juvenile matters, sealed cases, expunged records, and mental health commitments are strictly hidden to protect privacy. Plus, as of recently, certain failure-to-pay rent cases are automatically shielded from public view within 60 days, assuming no judgment for possession was actually issued. Moving to Section 5, Troubleshooting and Offline Options. What to do when you hit a brick wall.
So, what happens if your online search just comes up empty, or you realize you actually need to see the full, unredacted document rather than just a quick summary? Don't worry, you have physical alternatives. You can always visit the clerk's office at the district or circuit courthouse in person. Every single courthouse has a public kiosk where publicly available court records can be viewed in full, completely for free, right on site. You can also submit a formal written request for things like transcripts or audio recordings.
And this brings us to a really cool special feature. If you look at the top right of the portal, there is a Register button. If you are actually a party to the case, meaning you're acting as your own attorney or you are the attorney of record, you can click this button. By registering and passing the verification, you're granted full, remote electronic access to view non-confidential documents and images from your own case right from the comfort of your home.
Finally, Section 6, Important Legal Considerations. Let's talk about responsible data use.
We really need to talk about the responsible use of all this public data. I want to read you a direct, all-caps quote straight from the Maryland Judiciary's own FAQ page. The information made available through case search should not be used for the purpose of performing background checks on an individual. The judiciary assumes zero responsibility for how you use this data. You have to remember, case search is just a summary. It's not a complete record. Charges can be dropped, people can be acquitted. Looking at an incomplete summary and making major hiring or housing decisions based on it can have serious consequences. So please, use this information responsibly. And hey, that naturally brings us to our own quick disclaimer. Please keep in mind that this explainer is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It absolutely does not constitute legal advice. Navigating the court system can be incredibly complex with some really high stakes, so I always encourage you to consult with a qualified legal professional for detailed guidance that's specifically tailored to your unique situation. So I leave you with this final thought. Now that you're armed with the tools to navigate the Maryland case search portal like an absolute pro, what historical family puzzle or pressing legal question are you going to solve today? Dive into the database, test out your new skills, and let us know what you uncover in the comments below. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you in the next explainer.